Hey everybody, Gary with Basecamp Trading. And let's take a look at the ES. And we are still getting crazy moves pre-election, and today was no exception. You can see that the ES today, in the overnight, made a pretty strong push to the upside. You can see we made a nice move higher, got it extended. You can see we got extended, and then we kind of pulled back and consolidated for a while. And then coming into the U.S. session, 5 and 13 still crossed to the upside. 50 crossed the 200 back to the upside. Momentum, fast line crossed the slow line to the upside. And we had this inside bar right here. This was our opening bar for the U.S. Open, and of course, you can always get some movement in here, and got a push down, and then triggered this inside bar back to the upside, and a huge rip to the upside. Honestly, did not anticipate this, but huge rip to the upside. We got significantly overvalued, consolidated, and then we actually put in a reversal doji. That reversal doji triggered. Well, first of all, it triggered a bull flag, which didn't follow through, and then it ended up being a reversal doji. That reversal doji triggered to the downside and actually ended up with a failed bull flag. And this pushed lower, but it was a real choppy move lower. I mean, we triggered that reversal doji, and it worked its way lower, and it worked quite a ways lower, but it's just a real choppy. I mean, look at the size of these bars up and down. Look at all the movement up and down inside these bars as it moved lower, but to get an opportunity off that doji right there to the downside. And then we ended up reversing back the other way. Big bullish bar back the other way. The entire body was buying. Did leave a bit of a topping tail. Found some resistance here at the 5 and 13. This next bar was a nice bullish bar, opened and then closed above the 5 and the 13. And then we kind of had pushed lower, and then we left this reversal doji right here. This is a reversal doji back to the upside, left this big bottoming tail, and the bar closed right up here at the top. Then this bar opened and made a nice rip higher. I mean, that's 15 points higher, or $750 per contract higher. And then at the close, we ended up ripping back the other way. I mean, look at the huge move at the close of the day back the other way. So, again, just crazy, crazy moves in all this pre-election volatility. Let's take a look at the Renko chart, because that 30-minute chart did give us some Renko setups that we were able to trade. First one was this morning, and this was where we had that pullback, and then we had the consolidation. This was that doji right here. That inside bar was right here. There was the top of that bar. And then this was the market open. You can see 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 Eastern Time. This is where we had that push down off the initial open, and then the big turnaround. And we broke above that inside doji right there, triggered a long trade that triggered at about 33.41, 42, 41 and 3/4, 42, and then just ripped higher. I mean, look at that. No real pullback until you all the way back here. So that initial push up, I mean, you had a high as 33.64. Now, nobody's picking tops, of course, but that's over a 20-point run higher, so potential to get potentially at least $1,000 per contract, because it was actually more than that on the initial run. We got the pullback, set up the wick off the 34, and then again a nice rip higher. You had the opportunity, again, all on how you manage your trades, but you had the opportunity to pull another $700, $800 per contract out of this next move up. And again, it just depends on how you're managing your trade, but you did have the potential to, like I said, grab another $700, $800 per contract on the wick off the 34. And then we pulled back, chopped around a little bit, and then you can see we started making higher highs, higher lows on the Renko chart again. So we changed our trend back to an uptrend. We had a slow line zero touch right here out of the cloud. It wasn't a huge run, but another potential to grab around 400 because the high would have been about 550 per contract, but nobody's picking tops or bottoms. But opportunity to grab probably another $400, at least potentially another $400 off of this move here. And then we started chopping around again because we were extended. Market was due for some consolidation, and we definitely got some consolidation. Trend reversal breakout back to the downside. You may or may not have taken that. Usually don't take these into the cloud in the smooth 50, so may not have participated in that one. You did have a Trender Pro 2.0 signal wick off the 18. That would have been good for potentially a couple $100 per contract. Again, depending on how you're trading. Pulled back, set up a slow line zero touch off the 50 SMA. That triggered in. You had another potential right in here to grab a few $100 per contract. Again, just depends on how you're trading. Everybody manages their trades differently. But like I said, there was a potential for another $300 to $400 per contract on that move down. And then we went into this consolidation, and you can see we were just chopping in here. And we chopped in this consolidation for quite a while. We broke out to the downside, and then we pulled back, set up another slow line zero touch out of the cloud and off the 50. And that move was good for potentially another $500 to $600 per contract. Again, just depends on how you're managing your trade, what you get out of this. But again, potential for another $500 to $600 per contract. And then we got this big move back the other way. No real opportunity there. Set up another trend reversal breakout to the downside. But again, we don't take these into the cloud in the smooth 50. Didn't follow through. Got the giant whip back the other way. Again, no setup potential. This is not a good setup of any kind right here. If you'd taken the double wick or something, it would have worked out, but that's really not a legitimate setup. Got the big push higher, and then it whipped back lower. And again, no opportunity to really trade that. Change trend again, higher high, higher low. Nothing here really. Pull back down, set up a double bottom down here. And this is where we were setting up that reversal doji on the 30-minute chart towards the end of the day. And that reversal doji would trigger above 33.6250. And this was the bar that led into the trigger. Triggered in that reversal doji, and we actually had some targets overhead here. Our initial target was 76.50. That triggered in at basically 33.6275, 33.63. And again, our target was 76.50. So again, potential to grab another $800+ per contract. Again, just depends on how you're managing your trade. You may have grabbed 300 or 400 off of here, got out on the pullback, got the Trender Pro 2.0 wick off the 18, could have grabbed a couple hundred there. Just depends on how you're managing your trade. And then we pushed higher. We're actually thinking maybe it would go up and run stops at the high of the day. It did not do that. It did not do that. Then we went into the last 10 minutes of the day. We call it the 10-minute crazies. And look at the giant rip back to the downside. We broke the uptrend, broke underneath the cloud, got the pullback, Trender Pro 2.0 signal off the 18. Could have grabbed a few $100 per contract there. Another Trender Pro 2.0 wick off the 18. Good for another $300 to $400 per contract here. A wick off the 34. Could have grabbed another few $100 per contract here, and this was the close of the day right here. So, again, depends on how you were trading, but man, crazy moves and some really good opportunities pre-election in the ES today.